we're going to talk about a game that I have touted very highly in the past, Revolution. But we're going to talk about the expansion, the 5 to 6 player expansion for Revolution.
Which does not come in this box.
Nope.
Rather, it comes in a bag. And if you think about it, I don't see why that's a bad idea, because most expansions you're going to throw them away and put them in the game anyway.
Yeah, and it saves on cost. You can lower the retail price. Hello.
Most expansions fall into one of two categories. Either they fix the game, or they add more stuff to it. I don't know that this one does either. I mean, it adds more players, but it adds a few things to it. It kind of changes the game. This is the kind of expansion where if you don't have it, life doesn't go on. But now that I have it, I will never play the game without it.
Yeah, adding the 5th and 6th players really actually expanded the game more than anything else. The extra building that comes along with it helps a little bit, but the extra characters that you can actually bribe during the game really helped a lot.
Yeah, if you thought the game was a little too mean before, I think that helps out because there's more places to put your people now.
Right.
And there's less crossover. But, go ahead.
Thumbs up.
Well, stop giving it... We're talking about the expansion for Revolution here, so if you want to know how to play the actual game, go check out my video for that. The first thing this expansion adds is a 5th to 6th player. Purple and orange. Yeah, for purple, I'm glad when any game adds purple. If you remember, the boards for the original game look like this. There was 12 different things that you can pick, but they've now been replaced with 16 different things. The new things that can be added, one of them is, and if you see here the board, in the middle of the board, you can place a palace. It's as if they knew they were going to do this. So I don't know. But the palace is worth 55 points at the end of the game, and there's also a guardhouse here. Now this all comes in handy when you pick the Viceroy, who can influence the palace and occupy the guardhouse. When you have a cube in the guardhouse, and you can be kicked out and someone else's cube can be stuck in, you cannot be affected by the spy or the apothecary, which lets other people, you know, swap cubes with you.
We can see you coming.
So, what else is new? Well, we see the top row is still there. The priest, aristocrat, merchant, printer, spy, apothecary. Ooh, this messenger. This gives you 3 support, and you can reassign up to 2 cubes already on the board. Well, that's kind of handy. So if you have 2 cubes on the board, you can move them to new locations, especially if you think you're going to lose. I also like the mayor. The mayor can influence any open spot. So you can take that, and that will let you get 2 cubes out in the spot on your turn rather than 1. And then the last new thing here is the constable, which gives you 5 support and 1 blackmail. Always glad to get more blackmail. So that's what adds in these new boards. And I'm going to say right now, I like these new boards so much that even with 3 to 4 players, we use these boards. You can do that. And that's pretty much all the game adds. I mean, it adds another whole thing here. The palace, that's definitely the best thing on the board. It's even better than the fortress, which is worth 50 points. It's kind of nice to have 2 big ones now because, you know, I mean, unless the same person controls both of them. But for the most part, this seamlessly flows in. If someone already knows how to play Revolution, you could give this to them, and it would take about a minute to explain it.
The palace is worth the most points, but you don't have to control it to win the game. The last game that we played together with other people, I won, and I didn't have any influence. I left the palace completely alone. I left the guard tower alone. But I gained the fortress, the harbor, and I believe the town hall. So that was enough to do it. So just because it's new, don't feel drawn to it. You can stay away from it and still win.
I would have showed you the original packaging, but it's gone because it came in a bag that you have to rip open to put in. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Why would you keep it in this? I never understood the need for separate expansion boxes, especially when an expansion like this is so obviously meant to be just integrated into gameplay. You'll never take it out. Yeah, and really I do think that it kept the price of the expansion down, although the price of the expansion was, what, $25? So it was still kind of high. So he probably had a lot of overhead there that he was trying to suck up. But I think other people should probably do this a lot more often. Just include it in a bag, because we're just going to put it in the box anyway. This gets 2 thumbs up for me. If you like Revolution, which I do, you're going to like this a lot. Now, Sam and I play Revolution 2 very different ways. He plays the nice way, in which If you bid and you lose, you get your money back. I play that if you bid and you lose, you don't get your money back. I think the bigger boards make My Way a little easier to play because you won't lose as often, but it works well with both ways. We've tried, or at least I've tried.
I haven't.
Sam only plays his way.
And reason it makes thematic sense to me. If you're making a bid, if somebody's going to take my bribe, they're going to take my bribe. They're not going to take somebody else's. If they take somebody else's bribe and they do what they want to do and they still take my bribe, I'm going to have some issues with that. And they won't do that very often. So that's kind of my reasoning behind wanting to play with that alternate rule.
I thought the reasoning was more you see less crime.
I also hate bidding and losing and not getting anything to return.
But I love this expansion. It works really well. I don't care so much about the new roles per se, but I like the fact that there's 16 of them. You cross a little bit less often, and it gives just a little bit more variety.
The game time will increase slightly, but not much.
Yeah, because even though there's another thing on the board with 8 more cubes, there's a mare which lets you put a cube anywhere, and so that's being taken a lot. And things will fill up pretty quickly. So I like it.